Thank you. There we go. So we should have everyone now. I'm going to check and make sure that we are live on Facebook. Um, Not yet. There we go. Go live. Want to make sure everybody's able to attend. And so welcome everyone to the Navigating the Clickety Clack book launch event. I'm so happy that you're here. My name is Keith Leon S. And I'm going to get, there we go, back to my screen. My name is Keith Leon S. I am the CEO of Beyond Belief Publishing, and I'm so happy that you have chosen this time to be here with us tonight and to be part of helping this book become a bestseller. And I am going to tell you how we do that, exactly how we do that. But first, I want to see that other people are joining us. Do we see anyone other than us? Yes, there we go. Attendees. All right. Um, how do we see the attendees?
In the participants panel, we've got about 81 people with us right now.
Perfect. Perfect. All right, so we're good to go on that. Thank you. My co-host tonight is Kim O'Neill, and she is also one of the authors in the book that you're going to be hearing about tonight. And so thank you, Kim, for helping me navigate all the things that we'll be doing tonight. During this event, I'm going to be interviewing the authors from this life-changing book. It's called Navigating the Clickety Clack: How to Live a Peace-Filled Life in a Seemingly Toxic World. And I will be giving everyone on this call, everyone who shows up to this event tonight, a free gift. And I'll also be giving away some free gifts um, as we go to people at random, which will be chosen by Kim. So as we move through the interviews, I'll pause every once in a while. We'll do a free giveaway, and then I'll also remind you how to get your free gift that I'm giving everyone for being here tonight. We're gonna give a few minutes for people running a little bit late to show up before we start the interview process, and I will be at that point interviewing one of our what I call superstars that's in the book with us, and her name is Christy Whitman, and she is a law of attraction expert. She is a New York Times bestselling author, and we love her and are so happy that she's with us here tonight. I'll also be interviewing all of the 17 incredible authors, all masters in their own right. And the reason that I have asked them to participate in this book is because each and every one of them is a walking, talking, living demonstration of being able to stay peaceful in chaos. At any time when things are going on and maybe they're in that space of not knowing what to do next, which is called the clickety clack, they're able to stay calm and centered and find that place that helps them then know what to do. Uh, they're the ones who can go to a Thanksgiving dinner with family and stay neutral, which is a feat in itself, right? And these are the folks that I've interviewed to be in this book. And so I'm going to be asking all of them questions and interviewing them and having them share some things with you of how they're able to do that. And so tonight we're going to create a bestseller together. And so I want to teach you the process of how does a book become a bestseller? Like, how does that happen? Well, the easiest way for me to put it is all we have to do is outsell the rest of the world in the categories that our book is in. Uh, Sounds easy when I say it that way, but it isn't always as easy as it sounds. You do have to make sure that people are going and purchasing the book in your category in a way that you're outselling the rest of the world. One of the ways to do that is to make sure that a large group of people comes together and purchases the book at the same time. And more specifically, within a 2 to 2.5 hour window period. Now, Amazon has an algorithm that updates book sales every 2 to 2.5 hours. And so we're going to be on this call doing the interview process, and there'll be points during the call when I will put up a link and I will ask everybody to click that link while we're on the call and ask you to go. It'll open up a separate window, and as you listen to me interview the next person, to go and purchase the Kindle book and the soft cover. If you're like me and you love to have an actual book in your hand, you can purchase the soft cover book. And if you really want to support the cause, then get both while you're there. What I've done has significantly reduced the prices of both books for the people on this call and for today. So the softcover book will be only $9.95. Tomorrow it goes up to its normal price of $14.95. So that's 33.33% savings. Um, and the Kindle book is only 99 cents. So when we sent you an email and we invited you to the call, we asked you to please wait until the time of this call to go purchase the book. That's why we did it, because here's what'll happen. So far, we're doing pretty good. We have sold some books and we are pretty high on the list, but we're not number one in each of the categories yet. But because of what we're going to do together tonight, this is how I timed it. I really wanted to make it so that we could see the results together. So because we're at number 3 and number 3 and number 6 in the Kindle categories, and then the soft cover, I believe right now is number 12 and number 15. As you go and purchase the books, and we do all of this within the space of this call, 2 to 2.5 hours. Now, when it updates, all of those sales will apply. And so what I'm knowing inside of me, what is going to happen is, for those of you who stay up or want to go check the page and that you purchased the book on that page, if you go and hit refresh a couple hours after this call, then the ranking will be up at number 1. And if not, most likely you'll hear from the person that invited you. We did it. We did it. We hit number 1. We hit number 1. So I, as a publisher, get excited about this, to see it happen in real time, and more importantly, for you to be part of it, so that when we hit number 1 in all the categories, that you're able to say, I did that. I was a part of that happening. I was able to help my dear friend who invited me to this event become a number 1 bestseller. We're already international bestsellers. We're on all of the lists, but number 1 is a great, great number to hit, and we're going to do that together. So thank you, each and every one of you, for being here tonight with us, for being part of what we're going to do tonight. I just want to thank you for taking time to be here with us. We know that you can be anywhere tonight, and you're here with us. We've got 100 people on so far, 500 people registered for this event. So I know that people will be coming and leaving as we go, which is why if you're on for the 2.5 hours, there's going to be a number of times that I'm going to ask you to click the link and go purchase the book. Once you've done that, just go ahead and relax, and you'll be part of the next interview. So that's what we're doing tonight, and I am excited about that. I want to let you know that Bob Proctor was to be here with us tonight. I heard from his camp that he's fallen ill, and so if we could all send prayers for Bob to feel better as soon as possible, that would be great, because I know that if he had it anyway to be here, if he felt like he could even sit up, he would be here on this call with us tonight, but he's not able to make it. So, Kim, have I missed anything, my awesome co-host?
I think you've got it. We're doing great.
All right.
You're doing great.
Anything you want to say?
Congratulations to everyone that's here, and to everyone that's joined us, is going to be part of this amazing project. This is a treat for all of us. It's not just the authors. This is something we're all doing for each other, and I think it's wonderful to be in each other's company tonight.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. All right. Well, I say we get to it. We get to it. First, I want to bring on Christy Whitman, who is a New York Times best-selling author, who is just an incredible woman. I love her with all my heart, and I'm so honored that she chose to be in this book with us. So, Christy, welcome to the call.
Thank you so much, Keith. I love being here with you. And it's so great to see everybody because on this call, we have so many of the Quantum Success Coaching Academy coaches that are here. And so it just really touches me that all of you are here and we're having this opportunity together. So it's really, really special for me to be here with all of you. So thank you.
Absolutely. Well, so let me ask you the first question, and that is, in a world that's filled with clickety clack, and when I say that to those of you who are listening, that's noise, drama, the negative news out there, all of that, anything that just kind of pulls us out of our center. How is it that you're able to stay peaceful and positive when the clickety clack is happening?
Well, I'm laughing because of even what's happening in the US election right now with we're in the meantime. We're in between. We're out of gear right now, right? We haven't had a final decision. And so many people are like, what's going to happen, right? So this is so timely to have this conversation. And for me, it's always been the practice of meditation. It's always been the practice of knowing that, I have, like everybody else does, we all have free will and choice. And, some people believe that, well, if so-and-so wins, then I'll be happy. If so-and-so wins, then I'm going to be miserable for the next 4 years, right? Or if I don't find the love of my life, or if this project doesn't fall into place, there's always a conditional thing that happens. And what we have to understand is that in any situation, we can find that peace and harmony by connecting with the energy of that peace and harmony, by choosing, literally, as easy as that sounds and as simple as it may sound, to choose the thoughts that actually make us feel better. There was a high school friend, on Facebook that was saying, oh my God, is everybody feeling so anxious right now? And I said, repeat after me. All is well. Things are always working out for me. I breathe in peace. I release out, negative energy. And she was like, oh my God, thank you. It's amazing how many people don't know this, don't do this, don't apply this, just to get your thoughts out of the momentum of, oh my God, Chicken Little, the sky is falling, right? So it's us that has that free will and choice to pay attention to where our energy is flowing, watching our words, watching our thoughts, what we say, what we think, what we perceive, what we feel, and then how we act from that place. And so it's just knowing that, having faith that all will be well, that things are working out for you. And if it's repeating it 1,000 times a day, building that faith muscle, then that's what we have to do. There's some days where I have to say that 1,000 times a day. Other days it's maybe 2, right? It just depends on the day and it depends on what's happening. I will say that if I could apply this during probably one of the hardest times of my clickety clack, experience of life, was when my son Maxim was 2 months old and he was rushed to the hospital and had to have open heart surgery. And he was older than any baby that has ever survived this type of, transposition of great artery, this thing that he had. And they even told us they've never performed surgery on a baby this old. It's truly a miracle that he's lasted 2 months. Normally, the babies that have this are gone within the week if they weren't detected. And so there was a lot of clickety clack moments happening there, but it was just bringing myself inward, not disconnecting from other people's worries and other people's fears and other family members, what they're saying, and, really go within and know that all is well. And I do create my reality. So what do I want? What vision do I want to have? And so I kept telling my husband, there's no other vision that we're going to hold other than him growing up, seeing him wrestling around with his brother, going to Disneyland and places like this, going camping and, seeing him play sports. And we kept building on to that vision in the middle of waiting for him while he's going for surgery. Most people would be freaking out. And we were like, oh my God, won't that be fun? I wonder if he'll play baseball, if he'll play football, if he'll play soccer, just expecting that. Now he's 10 years old. He's the biggest smart aleck I know. He is literally the soccer star on his team. His team is number 1 in their division right now. He's wrestling around with our dog. And, it's like the visions that I held during that specific time, during what seemingly could be one of the hardest, has come true. And so even in the most difficult times, even when things are uncertain, haven't fallen into place, we have the ability to breathe through it. To, again, the only things that we have control over are our thoughts, our words that we say, the perspectives that we hold, the emotions that we have, and the actions that we take.
Yes, yes. Oh, thank you. So what is one tip or tool that you would love to share with everyone to navigate through the clickety clack?
Breathe. I mean, sometimes it sounds so basic, but it's like, okay, just breathe. You know, it's a feeling of just literally feeling yourself grounded in your body. A lot of times we get so heady, we spin, you know, we get out of control and we disembody from our bodies. So feeling yourself connect with your thoughts, with your heart, letting your heart open and feeling that breath just come in and out, you know, really connecting with your energy. I like to say becoming an energy master, you know, really mastering the energy that you have, bringing that energy into your belly and understanding that, you know, our emotions are real. They're not to be suppressed or denied, or, you know, we don't want to escape from them. So if an emotion comes up, we want to be present with it and we want to feel the pulsation of the energy releasing from our bodies. Other way, we're pushing it away and we're denying it. But if we feel fear, right, feel uncertainty, feel whatever sadness or disappointment, to be able to feel that and hold it and just feel the pulsation of it, not tell a story or justify it or, you know, any of those other things that gets the mind involved, but just feel the energy of it, and that the emotions actually dissipate. It takes about approximately 90 seconds for the emotions to go away. And then we choose a different emotion that we want to feel, right? I want to feel hopeful. I want to feel excited. I want to feel joy. I want to feel abundance. I want to feel grateful. And then feel what it feels like to feel that. Because the divine that's breathing every one of us is the source of all energy. Like keys on a piano, we get to choose the notes and the chords that we want to play. I mean, we get to choose. I want to feel joy today. Fill me up with that feeling of joy. Let it fill up my mind. Let it be permeating through my heart. Let it be, you know, pulsating in my emotions. Let it literally, you know, course through my veins and fill up every single cell in my body. And as we're tuning to what we do want to feel and feeling that energy, breathing in that energy, then we actually experience it.
Yes, yes. Oh, thank you so much for sharing that.
You're welcome.
And yeah, I know that everyone who's watching and listening now, when you get your book, you're gonna love her chapter in the book as well. So thank you. Now is the time when I want to invite everyone to go ahead, and we're going to put a link for the Kindle book and a link for the softcover book right in the chat. So if you're on the call with us live here, it'll be right in the chat, and you can literally click on the link that says NTCC Kindle, and it will open up another page. I'm going to, for the people who are watching on Facebook, I'm going to go into the comments right now and put the link there, because I just thought of that. You won't be able to see our chat. So, so I'll put that there. And then we will move on to our next author in the book, which is going to be Liz Acar. So if you want to get ready, Liz, I'm going to, there we go. I have put the link in the Facebook chat. And so thank you, Christy, for being here with us. If you want to stick around for a little bit, that's great. If you want to move on with your evening, we just want to thank you so much for being part of the book and so much for coming here with us tonight and sharing your wisdom. I love you. All right. So Liz, how you doing?
I'm good. How exciting.
Right? This is fun. So you have friends that are probably here on with us tonight?
Yes. I PM'd. I think I had 400 engagements. I PM'd them all, invited them, got them to the Facebook if not there. So I don't know how many, but I'm excited for whoever shows up. So yeah.
Awesome. So I'll ask you the questions that I asked Christy. You will notice, those of you who get the book, I love to ask the same questions to people so that you get to hear different wisdom with the same question. So in a world that's filled with clickety clack, right? How is it that you're able to stay peaceful and positive? How do
Yeah.
you do? How do you do that?
I know. And I love those questions because man, what a year it's been. so, and and I've got to be honest and straight up and say that not every moment is filled with peace. And I think for this year, that's been the biggest thing, is just realizing we're doing the best we can in the moment we have, and to come at ourselves with kindness and compassion and love, and just be aware of how we're feeling. How am I feeling in this moment? And the more I can be aware of that, the more then I have a chance to be able to step in and do something differently to shift that mood. But without the awareness, it's easy to react. It's easy to get caught up. It's easy to get pulled into the worry and the fear and the uncertainty and everything that's going on. So yeah, awareness is a big one. And then using some of the tools and practices that tend to help me move through that. So yeah.
Mm. And so what's one tip or tool that you would like to share
Oh,
with
yeah.
everyone?
So yeah, it's that breath. It's like Christy was saying, that breath is so important, and remembering to stop and take it. I know when I was kind of presented with the opportunity to even be one of the contributing authors, it was in probably one of the hardest times of this year because my dad had just passed away. And I was actually literally in Oklahoma dealing with the estate. Just found out there were multiple wives, multiple children I wasn't even aware of. And this came across, and I thought, how in the world can I say yes to an opportunity like this when I'm feeling a little bit out of sorts right now? And I thought, that's actually the perfect time to say yes, because tools and processes, when we use them on ourselves, and one of those is just, again, stopping, breathing, instead of getting caught in that fear and that worry and how can I possibly do this, know that solution exists if I just stop and I breathe and I step back, and I call it stop and take 5. Stop and take 5 deep breaths, and then ask myself, well, what do I want? And not come from a place of the lower emotion. I don't want this, I don't want that, but I really would like to have a moment of peace. I would like to have a moment of relief. I would like to do the book, so, and then how do I want to feel? And, maybe in the moment, because when I was dealing with the dad grief, maybe it wasn't the pure joy and happiness that I might feel in another situation, but, a moment of relief and peace is huge. And as you stack and build on those moments of peace and relief, they add up. And then what is one thing I can do in the moment to take me closer to where I want to be? And maybe that's just stopping for a minute and self-care, or maybe it's calling somebody. But looking at those 3 things, what do I want? How do I want to feel? And what's the next inspired step I can take, into breathe, keep breathing through it so that I get out of that darn stress brain that just kind of keeps you stuck there. And I get into that part of the brain that connects me out of the headspace and into my divine and inner guidance and wisdom, and just trust that right here, right now, all is well in the moment. So
Yes.
yeah.
Thank you for those words of wisdom, and congratulations on being a best-selling author, and
Yeah.
soon to be, at the end of this call, #1 best-selling author in all categories. That's what we're knowing is happening. Uh, and so thank you. Someone I see is putting up the Australian link for those in Australia to be able to go and purchase the book. So thank you for handling that for us while I continue to do this work. So thank you, Liz.
Oh, thank
Congratulations.
you so much, Keith. Thank
Yeah. And so Maria, you're up next. This is
Thanks,
Maria
Kate.
Bradfield.
I'm so
Hi.
excited to be here.
Excited you're here.
You know I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, yeah. So I would ask you the question: in a world that's filled with clickety clack, so much noise and drama and negative news and all that stuff. How is it that you're able to stay peaceful and positive?
Okay, first I have to say, Christy, thank you. Because when I certified as a law of attraction life coach, I learned so many processes and tools to bring me peace and joy. So thank you.
Mm,
But I'm just so, I'm like the energy bunny. And what I do is I bring the joy. I bring my joy to everything I do.
mhm.
So my energy, my spirit, and I just love to reach out and help people. And I'm sorry, I don't know why I'm so emotional about this, because I know that the clickety clack is going to show up in our lives, not just now, but in the future. And we'd be remiss to think that it's not ever going to show up again. And so what I've done for all the years of my life is bring a good attitude, bring a really good attitude. And it's not just a positive attitude, but it is a strong desire to make sure that my best self shows up for every situation in my life. And I ask myself, and I think you mentioned it well, Liz, how do I want to feel? What do I want? How do I want to feel? And how do I want to make a difference for other people in their lives? So I know we're going to be challenged. I know sometimes we're going to feel desperate. We're going to be disappointed. But how we react to that situation is going to determine how we move forward in life. And I want to do it with happiness and vibrancy, joy and excitement. I'm like, God, I have so much energy to give. And maybe you feel it right now.
Yeah.
And so I bring my energy, I bring my enthusiasm, and I like to encourage others to be the absolute best that they can be.
Mm-hmm.
So I bring that attitude, and I bring also a question that I ask myself is, how would my highest and best self deal with a situation? And Christy taught me how to meditate. She doesn't know it, but I was really hard to get me to meditate. And now I find it takes me to a peaceful, peaceful place. And knowing that you're going to ask me the other question, I'm just going to tell you right now, how do I deal with it and how do I keep moving forward? I
Yeah.
deal with it by having fun. My tagline in life is stay focused, stay positive, and by gosh, always have fun. So I find humor in everything I do because it will help me navigate the clickety clacks that have appeared in my life.
Yes. Well, I love seeing that you're a walking, talking demonstration of that, because I've been to your page and I see some of the videos and I see the joy and I see you with the grandchildren. I see that you're having fun and I see that you are a walking, talking demonstration of what you're saying right now. And know that those of you who get this book and read this book know that each person that's in the book is that, and that's why they're in the book. And where some of the folks that are in the book, I think, thought they were interviewing me, I too was asking questions and making sure for you, the reader, that every person that I invited to be in this book is that. And so you can feel it, right? Can you feel it? Right, that this everybody I'm talking to so far, they're just got that beautiful energy. So congratulations, Maria. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. So next we have Natalie Cook. Natalie Cook from New Zealand.
Hello. Thanks
Hi.
very much for having me, Keith. It's wonderful to be here amongst all of you. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for being here and congratulations. I want to ask you that in a world filled with the clickety clack, how is it that you're able to stay peaceful and stay positive?
I'm going to echo Liz here. It was the first sort of thing that came to mind was, well, I'm not always. and actually it's having non-judgment for that and being able to meet myself in compassion in those moments when I'm stressed, anxious, feeling like I'm tipping over the edge, and yeah, bringing compassion to that really is quite key for me, to not expect to be perfect, to perfectly calm, perfectly peaceful, and being able to embrace, all of what it means to be human, to embrace the anger, the grief, sadness, the joy, the love, the hope, the fun, all of it, to feel it beginning, middle, and end. So I'm not getting stuck in the resistance, just letting it be. And then I almost find peace in even being in the midst of the clickety clack by just being able to allow. I think it's that walking that tightrope between surrender and allowing and having hope at the same time. And and I guess I also want to speak to the fact that I feel immensely grateful that I'm privileged enough to have always had all my core needs met. I don't need to worry about, or have never had to worry about, where my next mouthful comes from, whether I have a roof over my head, whether someone's going to judge me for a job because of the color of my skin, or arrest me for it, or any of those things. So I just want to speak to the gratitude I have for, I guess, my privilege in life as well, which allows me to explore all the tools that I have that help me through.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Thank you. So what is one tip or tool that you'd like to share with everybody of how to potentially navigate through the clicking?
I knew breathing would come up, so I came up with a different one. And actually, breathing can be anxious for some people. If you struggle with anxiety, trying to breathe properly can actually be quite stressful. So I actually think it's a question that I like to ask myself, because I struggle sometimes with faith, and it's been probably a work in progress for me, having faith that everything will be all right. Even though intellectually I know it, it's about actually feeling it in your body. So my tip is get to know what calm feels like in the moments where you feel it. Just start to notice it. Notice what it feels like when you're stressed, when you're triggered, when you're tipping over the edge. And then ask yourself, if I were the kind of person that believed that everything was well, what would that feel like? Just play with it. You don't actually have to believe it, but you can play with, what would it feel like if I did believe that? And that's how I started. And it's kind of fun. And then you can just play around in that feeling. And as someone's already said, all those moments of feeling that stuck together equate to a general sense of feeling calmer and more peaceful. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that.
Thank
and
you.
Thank you for bringing your beautiful energy to this book, and for being a bestseller. Woohoo! All right. And so for those of you who are with us live on this call and on Facebook, I'm actually going to include you in this part. Right now, I want to give a gift to everyone who is in attendance, who's watching this call. So if you could put that link, Kim, into the chat, and I will go put it on Facebook. On Facebook, go check the comments, and I'm putting a link that says your free gift here, and you click that link. It says easycard.com/you speak it books, and you can get a free gift there for being in attendance of this call. So we'll do that. And throughout the night, I am going to be giving people that are specifically on this live call that registered ahead of time and are attending the call live here in Zoom, I'm going to give away a very, very valuable prize. So if you have always wanted to write a book and you haven't done it yet, or you have written a book, but you would just like some tips from someone who's written many and is a publisher and is a best-selling author, I have a book home study writing course that sells for $1,000, and I'm going to give away 4 of those tonight on the call. And so Kim will randomly select a winner who is on this call, and then she's going to say who it is, and then you who have won that home study course, if you would put your email address into the chat, and then Kim will capture that for me. And after the call is over, it may be later tonight or tomorrow morning, but know that in your email, you will get the login information for that course. And so again, it sells for $1,000. I'm going to be giving away 4 of those to people on this call, and then everyone else and you get a free gift for being here. So Kim, do you have anybody yet?
I do, yes. So I randomly scrolled through without even looking, and the first random winner of the Bake Your Book Home Study course is, your name in the chat is Nan Dr. Karen Jeffrey Schweiger. So congratulations to you. Go ahead and type in the chat your email address. We'll be sure that Keith receives it, and he'll be able to provide you access to your special gift. And congratulations.
Awesome. Thank you, Kim. All right, so we did that and we handled that. So next, I'm going to invite Jeffrey Gignac on to the camera.
Hi there, Keith.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Very excited to be here, and so nice to see everybody's smiling faces and all the people coming in joining us today. Just lovely to see it all.
Yeah. Well, congrats. Thank you for being in the book, and congrats on being a bestseller. Let me ask you the question, and I love that people are sharing. I'm not always in that, and I maybe should have prefaced with that. I don't think anybody is like always able to walk around and just never be phased. But one of my mentors in the past, Jack Canfield, I said, "Do you ever have a bad day?" And he said, "Bad day, no. Bad hour." Not anymore. Bad few minutes? Yes. But what happens is I have developed within me, I know when my stomach tightens, that's when I'm being triggered, right? And so now anytime my stomach tightens, I go do the tools that you're going to be learning about tonight, those of you that are watching this. He goes to the tools, and then he's able to correct course quickly. And so Jeffrey, in a world that's filled with clickety clack, how is it that you are able to stay peaceful and positive?
Well, as so many of the authors have already talked about, I mean, a lot of those tools, I think a lot of us we probably use. The breathing is so important. The meditation is so important. For me, meditation is a really big part of my life. Sometimes I use, the singing bowls that maybe some of you see behind me as part of that meditation. And other times it's quiet time. That is a really important part. And something that I've been doing more and more lately that I found just to be amazing, and it's especially because there's been a lot of things that have popped up that, I had this whiteboard, right, and had all the things I was going to do this year, and come March, I wiped it all clean. And I said, okay, now what? And I know a lot of people did that too, right? And so for me is, the more I dedicate myself, my talents, my spirit, my gifts, all the things that I am given to the betterment of humanity, to the will of Source or God, or however you want to say it, right? And I keep that my focus, the more I am in complete peace or flowing with peace, prosperity, happiness, and health, and the more effortless it becomes. And when I keep my eyes on that, I'm here, my talents, whatever they may be, and however they can serve humanity, when I focus on that, the ease and grace in which I can remain in that peaceful state, regardless of what is going around me, is really remarkable. And so, and I think everybody can do that, right? Regardless, whether you know what your mission is in life or what you feel what your purpose is in life, you can make a decision to say, hey, I'm going to dedicate my talents to the betterment of humanity. And to help everybody out. And you stay in alignment with that, and you stay focused on that, and you will immediately begin to notice that these things that maybe used to bother you, that really used to get under your skin, tighten your stomach, don't seem to do that anymore automatically. And if it happens to, something does come up, well, then you have these tools like meditation and breathing and all the things that these amazing authors have talked about so far.
Yes. Oh, great. Well, what's the one tip or tool that you would love to share with everyone on this call specifically?
All right, I'm going to share with you my favorite tip and my favorite tool. It's a tip and a tool. And the tool is a calendar. Normal calendar. I got one over there, I got one over there, and I got, I don't know how many on my phone, and and here's how I use it. One of the things that I do is I put myself on the calendar for self-development. for meditation, for self-love, for self-care, one of those things. And one of the things that I do is I book an appointment with myself, and this is really key. And I treat that appointment as if it is the most, like I'm booking an appointment with the hardest to get doctor or specialist in the world, right? One that if I miss that darn appointment, it's going to take me 6 months, a year, maybe to get back to it, right? I treat it that way and I schedule it. So I'm going to take 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever it is. And I'm going to do some self-development. I'm going to meditate on maybe my service and what I'm going to do with my community. And I show up. I show up like my life depends on it. I show up to that appointment ready to do the work. Now, what does that do? Well, it's actually one of the biggest self-hypnosis techniques you can do, right? Because listen, we oftentimes, when do we do self-care, self-love and all this stuff, right? Oftentimes we do it when we can fit it in, or we can do it when something hits us that fills us with anxiety or something, right? And then maybe we do it. Well, when we put it, and so we're last a lot of the times, right? So the simple act, even if you start off doing it once a week, you put yourself on that calendar and you show up with love, ready to do the work, whatever it is, self-care, self-love, self-development, and you show up, it sends an incredible and powerful signal to your subconscious mind, right? That I am important. And it teaches you that you are loved. It does, my clients will tell me that it does an amazing amount of benefit for them in terms of their self-confidence and their self-worth. It's a simple technique that you can do to build all those things up inside that will really get you moving in the right direction.
That's a great tip. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Yeah, welcome.
Congrats. All right, thank you. So Karen, you are up.
Hey Keith, hey everyone. Thanks for being here. So blessed to be here with you all.
Mm-hmm. And grateful that you are here. So let me ask you, how is it that you are able to stay peaceful and centered in a clickety clack world?
Yeah, thank you. I have to say that I was not a fan of meditation. Not because it wasn't helpful, it's because I just refused to do it. And I can tell you decades where, my spiritual teachers, I'd be reading books and like, yeah, meditation, whatever, And honestly, it was because I was seeing other people around me who were, friends who were in healing classes and stuff like that. And they were meditating for like an hour or two a day. And I'm looking at their lives and I'm thinking, they're not any more peaceful than I am. They're not wealthier than I am. They're not, their relationships. So why should I bother, really? So I really balked at it for, decades, right? Until, of course, I got sick and I had to go through my own healing process and went through a lot of clickety clack. And I just made myself crazy because I wanted to force things to happen. Like, I have to make this happen. And I would get pissed off if somebody would say, oh, it'll all work out, right? And I'd be like, sure, it'll all work out because I'm going to make it work out. Like I was, super nice on the outside, but inside I was just like so frustrated when people said that. But then I realized that, wait a second, maybe I don't have to do it the way that everybody is doing or I'm perceiving they're doing it, like doing, meditation for 30, 40, 60, 2 hours a day. Maybe there's a way of doing it as I go because I'm a busy person. I like being busy and I like being productive. So I figured something out through a teacher called Frank Kinslow, and he taught something called quantum entrainment. And he said, well, there's this feeling that you get. He called it you feeling. And I felt it. And I was like, okay, I'm feeling energy running in my body. So Christy knows what I'm talking about, right? So energy running in my body. And I thought, that's it. And then he's like, yeah, so how do you feel? Like mentally, emotionally? I'm like, I don't feel anything. And he goes, yeah, exactly. I was like, whoa. So that totally was like, that is so cool. So I started to do that. And I was like, hey, it's like stillness on the fly. This is really, really cool. I can just tune in to the energy in my body and automatically whatever I'm going through, whether it be negative emotion or anxiety, chaos, a negative situation, I would just feel the energy in my body. And then what would happen, interestingly, was an answer would pop up. And I know you know this, Keith, because you teach it, where I just kind of was sitting in that silence. The reason my mind was silent wasn't because I was trying to make it silent. It was because I was focused so much on my body. I was fully embodied that these ideas and guidance would come up. And I was like, wow, that is really cool. And then what I learned is if I could see the big picture and not just focus on the little picture, like, oh my God, it's COVID and you have to wear a mask or don't wear a mask. And, if I see the big picture and I go, wait a second, I'm a spiritual being having a human experience. This is just one of many lives. It's not that big a deal. You know what I mean? And that would really help me.
Mm, yes. So what's one tip or tool that you want to share with everybody who's here with us?
Well, for those of you that are not, big meditators, like I wasn't, don't like the idea or is not comfortable or not used to doing these 30, 40, 50, 60-minute meditations, but yet want to get the benefits meditation. I ended up developing a tool called STOEM, Stillness Through Observing Internal Movement, which I just mentioned earlier. And we describe it step by step how to do that in the book. Super, super easy. You can teach it to children. And what I noticed is that one of the things that reminds me to feel the energy in my body, aside from me just consciously reminding myself, is there's a really cool app. If you have a smartphone, most people do. It's called Mindfulness Bell. Okay, it's at least on a iOS, it's Mindfulness Bell app, and then I used to have an Android, so they have a version of that. And you can actually set that to ring every 30 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever. And so you get this beautiful Tibetan singing bowl sound. And what happens if you just stop and you just focus inside your body, you'll actually feel the waves reverberating in your body. And I swear it's like 3 seconds. That's it. That is your meditation. You do that 1 time, 5 times, 20 times, 60 times a day. It doesn't really matter. The more you do it, the better you get at it. I do it watching scary movies now. It's a thing. I test myself. Can I be fully embodied while I'm in a scary movie? And interestingly, it's not quite as scary, but so that's my tip.
I love that. So a reminder, and it's funny. I was over at a friend's house a long time ago, and something kept going off every 15 minutes or so on her phone, and now I know what it was. It was
Thank
that
you.
reminder. Yeah. So thank you so much for sharing, and congratulations. Those of you who are just joining us, we're going to be periodically putting the links in the chat for you to go ahead and click, and it will open up a new window, and you can go purchase your Kindle book, your soft cover book if you're like me and you love one in your hands, you like to read a book, or if you really want to support the cause, buy one of each while you're there. And also I want to say that if you're getting value right now on this call, and you can think of someone that you know or that you love that could use what you're getting right now, could use this information that's in the book, then while you're there, maybe pick up an extra copy. And maybe you don't know who that is now, but when it shows up and you start reading the book, you'll go, oh, I'm glad I got an extra copy because this is perfect for this other person. Like I said, I've marked down the softcover book considerably for today and today only. So you could pick up a gift for someone that you love right now. And so next I want to invite Kate Moriah to get on camera and unmute your video, your audio.
Hello, gang. Hello, everyone. This is so exciting.
Yes.
A huge, huge heart hug right now, and just little heart thumps sending your way.
Thank you. And you have people that you know that are most likely on this call right now?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, a couple of people are claiming their purchase already. So we are just so excited. It's a big deal.
Awesome. Well, I just, you and everyone that I connected with, I just felt like you were one of the people that I just felt your heart, and I felt your love, and I felt your energy so much. And so thank you for being part of this project, because I know that as people read your words, they're going to connect with that piece that I'm talking about. And for those of you that are on right now, part of the reason that I wanted to do this call was so you could put a face with each of the names. So now when you read the stories, you're going to go, oh, I remember her. And so it's going to be an even better experience for you. So Kate, my dear, how is it that you are able to stay peaceful in a world that's filled with the clickety clack everywhere we go?
Yeah. Can I just give everyone like rounds of high fives? Because we're all just super authentic, I think would be the best word for it. That it is not, this isn't a consistent linear thing to navigate the clickety clack. There's a lot of like randomized options and making choices and just kind of having to like, you know what, let's go back to default mode. What is my intuition saying, or my gut instinct, my primal impulse sometimes, right? Like, what is that saying in the moment? Because all we have is a now moment. And that's something that I've learned personally. I've had the fortune and unfortunate, you know, due to my life path, due to illness or, you know, upbringing, childhood, I've spent a lot of time in solitude throughout my life. So I found that I've been able to spend a lot of time alone. And it was specifically through a long-term illness where I was bedridden for a number of years and just completely dependent on other people, like literally could not get out of bed, that I became really familiar with my own energetic signature. And I call that my set point. That's my set point. That's home. And my home is within myself. My home is that little seed of the universe that no matter what is going on outside or even what I'm absorbing, right? A lot of times I can absorb energy or take on energy or get entangled in energy that has me, you know, rack brain or like, is this mine? Is this not mine? You know, trying to sort through, you know, do I need to take an action? Do I need to say something? Do I just stay put? Do I wait it out? Do I observe? You know, like, what do I do? What do I do? So many options. It's like overstimulation and option overload that I've learned. I just have to come back home. I have to come back home. I have to come back to that home within myself. And it's really through consistent prioritizing, I have to say, prioritizing that, you know, monitoring my own inner universe, my own inner landscape, so to speak, of removing the clutter, sometimes pulling my energy back, recoiling my energy and waiting until I find that balance within self, that peace within self, where I can breathe easily again, where I don't feel so inflamed or so entangled or spread too thin. Because I can get caught in these cycles, and I know we all can, where, you know, we get these a spin, we can get into a tailspin, whether it's giving too much, doing too much, you know, trying to be too many things to too many people too often. You know, whether the world is going through a pandemic or we're just having a lot going on in our own lives, right? There's varying degrees of how we can find ourselves in that clickety clack moment. So anytime that we can find the time to return home, right, that seed of universe within, and return back to that peaceful point within. That's what I do.
Great. And what's one tip or tool that you could give people watching right now?
Yeah, so something that I really, really love. So I'm constantly having conversations with my own guidance, right? My own guides, my internal dialogue is constantly running. And sometimes I actually need an external voice to mirror back what my intuition or what my guides are already telling me to be true. And so one of the tools and resources that I found that I believe in wholeheartedly is Steve Nobel. And he puts out these guided meditations where he will talk you through clearings, a higher light decree, bringing you back to self. Sometimes you might just, you know, need to follow. He's just a soothing voice. It could be something as simple as that, just to reset and restore. But Steve Nobel, so his website is soulmatrix.org. You can also find that he does a lot of posts on YouTube, so you can find a lot of his guided meditations there. And I really highly, highly, highly recommend them.
Okay. Well, congratulations. Thank you so much for being here tonight, for being in the book. And I'm so proud of all of you. Thank you. All right. So now we're going to just take a break really quick, put in these links. And so if you have just joined us, what we're doing is we're creating a bestseller together. And so that means that everybody that's on this call, everybody that is on Facebook and is watching live, when all of you go purchase a book within a few hour window period, it spikes a book. We literally can outsell the rest of the people that are selling a book right now in a couple hours time, which will spike it on Amazon. Throughout the day today, we got the book to number 3, number 6 in the soft cover in our categories, and I believe it was 11 and 15, something like that, in the soft cover. And so as you're purchasing your book right now during the event, in a few hours when Amazon updates, I believe we're going to go to number 1, and if not, super, super close. In Australia, we have been number 1, number 2, and number 2 all day today. And so thank you those in Australia who have purchased the book throughout the day and today as well. Woohoo! So I am going in alphabetical order here. For those of you who are here to see somebody specifically, a friend of yours, and you're wondering when on earth are they going to go, I'm going in alphabetical order. So if you have seen the cover of the book, and you have a picture of that, whether it's on my Facebook page or however you got invited, if you've got a front cover of the book, you'll see everybody's name is in alphabetical order, so you can see what order they're going to go in. So next up, I have Kelly Moser. So I'd love for you to unmute yourself and get on camera so I can talk to you.
Yeah, I'm so excited. It's still a surreal moment. I mean, the whole thing, from getting a phone call from an interesting man named Keith out of the blue, literally out of the blue, to sitting here with all you guys. It's truly an honor, and it's an amazing experience. So thank you for that.
Yeah, well, know that you came highly recommended, as did everyone in this book. That when I talked to somebody that you love about being in the book, they said, "Oh, you know who is that? Is that you have to talk to Kelly?" And so
Yeah.
that's how we connected. So let me ask you the first question then. In a world that's filled with so much clickety clack, how is it that you're able to stay in that peaceful place?
I have to reflect to hitting the wall over and over and over and over again. It's reminding myself that those ebbs and flows of life are going to come, and understanding that if you're not in it, you're going to be in it, and just trying to soften the blow. But starting to understand the way the brain works and how the biology of it all works. It's like the brain is hunting for certainty. And so we try to be in control all the time. And I used to be the guy that would, scream at the southbound traffic when I was going northbound, or the weather or whatever, just plug in your thing. And I just wanted control of this thing, and just having to realize, as to what Christy said earlier about what you're actually in control of.
Yes. So what's one tip or tool that you would love to share?
Yeah. So I'm a process guy, and I like to run things through filters. I love all kinds of tools, but if you can tell me do this, then do this, then do this, and you get this result, like, I'm all in. And so for me, that was the filter of control. So understanding that you are in 100% control of your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions, and that's it. And then understanding that there's the next layer of the filter, like, what can I influence? I may not be able to control this situation, whether it's the traffic, whether it's the weather, whether it's the government, whatever, red, blue, whatever. But can I influence this situation? And then if I can't, it goes into that out of my control. And so being able to get into a situation where I don't like this negative emotion that I'm having, and being able to say, okay, can I control this? Nope. Can I influence this? Nope. So it's outside of my control. And then asking yourself that very powerful question of, what do I do now? Not the frustrated, the angry, the emotional Kelly, but the best version of who I believe that I am or can be. What does that person do in this situation? And so running it through that process and filter has been a lifesaver. Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. Congratulations, and thanks for being here with us tonight. Speaking of alphabetical order, I was reminded that Marcus Bird is B, and we got to M already. And so, Marcus, please unmute yourself and forgive me for somehow getting out of order here.
No problem at all, Keith. Thank you
Hi.
so much for allowing me to be here. It's actually kind of funny because it was actually perfect timing, because I came into this, this call and this time with you being really rushed and a bit in the clickety clack, which is kind of hilarious. And I'm sort of sitting there going, oh my God, don't pick me just yet, because I'm not I'm not in the zone just yet. And so
that's why it happened. Okay, thank you.
That's exactly why it happened, and I think that's the key thing, to realize that things do happen for a reason in some respect, in some way. And And for me, you know, it's really about staying, you know, truly aligned with myself and then following the energy. And so as this was unfolding, which was quite sort of funny in a strange way, I had to actually sort of, you know, get through the clickety clack, because in my head I'm going, oh my God, he's missed me, and am I actually going to be on the call? Should I be here? You know, all sorts of crazy sort of thoughts started to play out. So I actually had to start to practice some of the things that I preach, and actually, you know, realign myself, and it actually gave me time to do that. So I appreciate you missing my name, but I'm in an M anyway, so I'm sort of in the right place. So it's all perfect.
Yeah, it's amazing how divine everything is, because I too for a second was like, how could that have happened? That's weird.
Yeah.
Oh well, just get, he's
No,
next.
no.
So I chatted you,
sort of,
you're next.
yeah.
And then you immediately answered my question. So I love the
Yeah.
way God Spirit Universe works that way, right?
It's so beautiful. Yeah.
Just
And I
very
think, yeah, it is. And I think if you stay aligned with it and stop trying to fight it, I think so often we try to fight these things, you know, and then often the dialogue starts to play out in our head. So, you know, for a brief second, the dialogue started to play. Oh, well, maybe I'm not meant to be here. Maybe he's missed me on purpose. And it's like, that's just, no, we're not playing that game. We're just going to use this time perfectly to just stay aligned and stay, you know, stay with the reality of what this moment is holding right now. And so, and it's also been great to spend time listening to some of the other amazing speakers. And that's certainly, yeah, I took some notes on some of the things they were saying, which was kind of cool. And so I've utilized this time, you know, to do a bit of practicing what I preach. So I appreciate the time. So thank you.
Perfect. So specifically, what's one tip or tool that you would love to share with those who are watching right now?
Yeah, I think for me, the key is to stay aligned. You know, I often say to people, I'm really dangerous for all the wrong reasons when I'm out of alignment, and dangerous for all the right reasons when I am in alignment. And so for me, it's constantly focusing on being in alignment. And part of that is about going with the flow. It is about following the energy. And I think when you're fully aligned, you actually get to follow the energy, and you stop trying to push against life. You stop trying to push against things. And this was a classic example of just going with the flow. Like, the name will come, it will appear when it's meant to appear. It's absolutely okay. And just being centered in that space. And so for me, it was focusing on staying aligned and making sure I'm sort of staying in that centerpiece, and really observing, connecting with them, and watching, what is my head telling me? What is the heart telling me? What is my intuition telling me? Because often the head will run off with a story, and the head will try and connect to things that have happened in the past where you've missed out before, or someone hasn't called your name up, or hasn't done what, you know, you expected they would do. And then to feel into, so getting through the truth and the falsities of what my brain was telling me, and then into the heart, where the emotions start to play out and get either disappointed or upset or stressed or worried that I'm not being considered, or whatever the story might be playing out. And then being able to drop deeply into the gut, connecting deeply within, so that I can align what is the truth in this moment for me right now, rather than getting caught up in story, rather than getting caught up in all the other things that sort of go on. And that helps me to keep out of the clickety clack. And so one of the things that helps every day for me, so one of the tips I'd like to pass on, is I have this saying that says, how you start anything is generally how you finish that thing. And so I tend to do that with my life and my day. So in the morning, what I tend to do before I get out of bed is I set state, what I call set state, which is really, how do I want today to turn out? Like, how do I want to be today? Now, I might not be able to influence all of the things that happen. I might not be able to influence the US election or coronavirus or whatever's going on in the world, or even in my family potentially. But I can influence what happens for me and how I respond and how I look at the situation. So in the morning, I set state. How do I want to be today? Do I want to be happy? Do I want to be joyful? Do I want to be excited? Do I want to be enthusiastic? Do I want to change life? Like, how do I want to be? And so I spend a moment just setting state. Now, sometimes I do that in meditation. Sometimes it's just visualizing it. And before I jump out of bed and into my day, I go, right, how do I want my day to be? How do I want to be in my day? And then afterwards, I reset state at night. So often things will happen during the day that will help, which will get you caught in the clickety clack, and it might unravel your alignment and unravel your state of peace or joy or happiness, because that's life, right? And so then before I go to sleep at night, I reset state. and sort of get back into that. Okay, how do I want to be in this moment, and relax and start to realign myself so that I go to sleep in a realignment state. So then when I wake up, it's easier to set state. So I think for me, it's about that connecting deeply with who I am. And the tool, one of the tools I use is that, to set state and to, reset my state.
I love it. I love it. Thank you so much for sharing that. And you're
calling
in from Australia. What time is it there right now?
It is 12:05 midday. So right here in Australia. So thank you again for allowing me to be part of the book. And it's so exciting to hear all the other speakers. And this is really exciting, and it's an exciting time.
And those of you joining us from Australia, thank you for your patience while I work that out.
Absolutely.
And got Marcus on at the most perfect time.
Of course.
Little did we know it was perfect timing. So
of course it was. So thank you, Keith.
You got it.
Yeah. And if you allow things to unfold, then things will happen in perfect timing. So it's great.
Got it. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
And so next, Kim, I have Kim O'Neill, my awesome co-host.
Hey, Keith and
She's
everybody.
Next. Hola. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing fantastic. So for those of you who are just joining us, we are periodically putting in links into the chat that say, hey, if you haven't purchased your book yet, go purchase it now, because that's what we're doing. We're creating a #1 bestseller, in that everybody who is on this call tonight, you'll go purchase your ebook or your physical book, and then in a few hours that will update, and we'll see it go even higher on the list of bestseller. So if you're watching on Facebook, if you go to the comments section, I have been popping over there and putting in the link to the free gift to anybody who watches this, and the links to go and purchase the book. So you look in the comments if you're on the Facebook Live aspect of life right now. And really quick, I want to point out and do a shout out, Kim, before we get started, to, let me see if I can see the gallery view. Okay, so I can see that you can see it. This shirt right here that says, I love my life. I love my life. I have to tell you that I absolutely do love my life. And one of the people who has really helped me become a great speaker in front of people, who's really helped me to be authentic in each moment, and be willingly open to share my heart with the masses, is a man named Adam Markel, and that is his tagline. So it's Adam, A-D-A-M, Markel, one of my mentors, a dear friend, and I'm wearing his shirt. And so if you're seeing it and you're like, what is I love my life thing, I thought I would just share that while I was thinking of it. And so Kim, oh my goodness, thank you for being not only an author in the book, not only for interviewing me on your show and all that you've done, but for co-hosting with me tonight. And so now is your time to shine the spotlight on you, you being in service tonight with helping me. And so how is it that you are able to stay in the clickety clack when everything seems to be going to hell in a handbag around you?
To be peaceful in that clickety clack. I love this. I think you said it best. I know you posted earlier today, this is the time for this conversation, right? Sharing this information. And I completely agree. And so when I think back to times in my life when I was going through the clickety clack and not quite understanding what's going on, because it catches you off guard, it feels uncomfortable, it feels like a whirlwind. Looking back, there are a few things, and everyone here has already said so many amazing things. So it's like, okay, how are the rest of us going to say something new and different, right? So I first want to affirm definitely breathing. If you already have an awareness of your energy, absolutely everything you can do to align your energy, to be reminding yourself of who you authentically are, being in tune with what are thoughts that are going to serve me, what are my emotions telling me, all of that kind of stuff. And if that's it feels like, what, I don't understand that, I haven't practiced that yet, then what I have found is literally anything and everything. It's as simple as this, anything and everything that helps you to feel good in the healthiest way possible. So for me, many years ago, about a couple years before the story that I shared in the book, I went through a clickety clack moment, and meditation was one of those things that I started with. And it was something that I know someone else here said it tonight, that at first I didn't like meditation. It was very like, what is this? What am I doing? Right. And then a clickety clack moment happened, and it was like, okay, this is supposed to work. This is supposed to do something. So let me try this again. Let me give this another shot. And so I just remember like going through different YouTube videos and searching different books and CDs on tape in a local bookstore at that time, and starting to just listen to some of these things and noticing the effect they were having. Another thing that really helped was a positive affirmations CD that I listened to. And I just remember thinking, okay, this sounds so cheesy. You know, I know this is supposed to work. I want it to work. And I don't know if I fully believe that it's going to work yet. That is a very key element. However, when you are in a space of grasping at straws, you know, hanging on by a thread, and you just need something to work, if you choose something, stick with it. And that affirmation CD was definitely something I used. I kept saying those affirmations. I kept getting my mindset into that higher space. And within about a 2-week period, I noticed a dramatic shift. And I was amazed that something that I thought sounded, you know, kind of cheesy, might not be as helpful, made a huge difference, like really legitimate, huge difference in my life. And so one of the things I want to get to, and a few of our other authors have kind of spoken to this in different ways, is when we're going through a clickety clack, we can be looking for that magic pill. The magic pill is taking the action and repetition, is applying those tools that come to you that go, oh, there might be something with that. And then doing it and practicing and trusting and believing. It's not going to happen in, you know, the first time around. It's going to happen when you continue to do it and practice and learn what's going on as you move through your own experience. So I know I've probably taken up my time for this first question. I just want to also add that I personally believe everything serves a purpose. Even if it doesn't look like it, it serves some sort of purpose. So even if I don't see the purpose right offhand, I say, okay, fine. Well, then what is this teaching me? What am I going to be able to gain from this experience so that I can use it? It can be another stepping stone. It can give me more purpose and meaning to why it happened in the first place. And that can start to even just alleviate some of the tension, the stress, the chaos that I'm experiencing energetically. So those are a few things for me.
Yeah. So what's your favorite tip or tool that you want to share?
My favorite one these days is breathing. That it sounds so simple and makes such a huge difference. So first and foremost, just taking time to take slow, deep breaths. That's something I do every morning. I wake up and then I lay there for about another 5-10 minutes and I do slow, deep breathing, just feeling present in my body. I notice just an extra sense of calmness takes over. And I also use that time to, like I was saying earlier, you know, connect with who I am. As much as I can, be embodied. There was a time when I didn't understand what that meant. And now that's something I practice regularly. So be embodied. And then if you're in the middle of a clickety clack situation and you can at least have enough awareness to go, oh, wait a second. Ooh, this is something. This is a clickety clack. And if you can start to tune into what am I feeling in my body? Where is it in my body? And then breathe into that space while you're in the midst of the clickety clack, that can start to dismantle and to start to break up some of that tension, so that even more in the moment versus, a week to a month later, I can start to feel calmer right then and there. So breath.
Ah, awesome. Thank you so much. And if I could, I'd like to pass the baton to you for the next.
Absolutely. We can definitely do that. Yes. So Keith's been doing so awesome. We're going to give him a little break here. And so after me, who do we have? We have got Angie Ponder Reid. So Angie, come on. We'd love to hear from you now.
Hello, everybody. And I want to thank Keith as he walks out the room for allowing me this opportunity. And I also, I would be remiss if I didn't thank every person and every situation that has contributed to Clickety Clack in my past. Because without that Clickety Clack, I wouldn't have had the contrast, and I wouldn't have sought out the personal development, and I wouldn't be the person that I am today, and I wouldn't be sitting here with you guys for sure. I am going through some Clickety Clack stuff in my life right now, so if I get emotional, I'm right there with you, Maria. I'm shining bright. So I love to do stream of conscious writing, and this morning, oh, I feel the tears. This morning, I sat down and I wrote to myself, "Happy book launch day. Today my first book comes out. It's bittersweet to feel excitement about this and concern for my mom at the same time. I know feeling good is my goal, and today I choose to feel the happiness and excitement for this milestone event in my life. Allowing myself to experience this joy will release the anxiety and attachment to a situation that's not mine to control." And so when I wrote that, I realized that I had a choice. And when I react to things, I'm giving away my power. And I almost felt guilty for being excited today. And as soon as I wrote that down, I mean, I knew it was a direct message from Source and God when I wrote that down, because I needed to hear that myself. I've been struggling with, how are you going to get on there and act all happy and excited knowing what's going on in your world? And I just, I'm really grateful. I'm grateful for all the crap and all the clickety clack moments that have led to this today, and given me the tools that I have to recognize it and to feel it, acknowledge it, and move through it. I quit dimming my light to make other people feel comfortable. That was a big thing for me. And I realized that the way I go through my clickety clack may not be the same way other people do. And I would compare myself to the way they handle situations. And that old cliche, comparison is the thief of joy. I remind myself of that often.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much for sharing that. Kim, you still there?
I'm still here. Yes, I saw you come back. I didn't know if you wanted to. Angie, so much love to you. So much love to you. I would just want to acknowledge you for sharing your vulnerability with us tonight. And I think something I will just say, please, anyone else, share your thoughts on this. When we see someone else going through something that we can relate to, it's kind of that reminder that it's safe to feel those things that we feel, and that we have permission to feel what we feel and go through all that. And like, if you're going through a clickety clack moment, that's the time to also allow yourself to feel versus resisting. So Angie, thank you for sharing and being that beautiful example and just being so open with us tonight.
Well, thank you guys for allowing me. And I do want to share a couple of my tools.
Yes, please.
I love using my essential oils to help raise my vibration. And even though I may be feeling a certain way, I know I have tools that can contribute to bringing me up to a different vibrational level, and I'm very grateful for that. And I always expect miracles. That's, and I know everything's always working out for me. So those are my biggest tools, are to remind me of those things. And I'm grateful to be here. Thank you so much for allowing me to share my tears, my happiness, and all my gratitude with you guys. I'm honored.
Yes. And then after, when we move on to the next person, please go to the chat and read all of the outpouring of love that's just being given to you right now in the chat. So thank you so much for being the gift of you and for being here tonight and sharing your beautiful heart with us.
Thank you, Keith. I love you.
You're welcome. I love you. Donna Riley. Donna Riley, how you doing?
Hello, I'm great. Thank you. I'm so happy to be here. It's so surreal.
It's here. It's here.
It's here.
And I think we've all been so patient. I mean, it really did happen in record time, right? To get out a book this fast. For those of you who, maybe not have heard this, the authors know that we really got all the interviews done, got this book out in record time because we knew this election was going to be coming up. We knew that there was COVID. We knew that there was so much clickety clack up in the world right now that the sooner we got it out, the better. And so we put it into warp speed and got it out really fast. And that was with all of you, the readers, in mind. And so, Angie, Donna, do you have some people that are here?
Yeah, I do.
Cool, cool. Thank you all for your patience. And so Donna, congratulations, and thank you for being part of this project.
Thank you.
So what? How is it? How on earth do you stay peaceful when the clickety clack is going on around you?
Well, first of all, I want to say I'm still in awe that I'm sitting here right now in this moment, and I'm so grateful. And I'm going to get emotional since Angie got emotional, but I've spent most of my life not really being here on the planet. After my near-death experience, I didn't want to be here. So I was in hiding most of my life. And this is actually my big year of coming out and showing up. And sure enough, Keith contacted me. He's like, hey, I'm doing this project. Maybe you want to consider doing it. And I was like, huh, what? And look at me, here I am right now. I'm like, but it's awesome. It's perfect. It's amazing. So what I want to say about that experience, a couple of people, I think it was Kim, said something about that everything is for a purpose. And for me, with my NDE, like I'm very aware that every single thing is divine. Like even the things that feel like they're horrible and they're happening to us are in fact serving some divine purpose for our higher good. And I operate in every cell in my body from that belief system. So just by doing that, it allows me to not fall into the victim and to the, intense pain of it, even though I allow myself to feel what I need to feel, but I don't fall into this despair. And so that's an important piece for me. And then I also get perspective. So I remember when I was in India, like 5 or 6 years ago, and I came back, I was there for like several weeks, and I came back and I was like, God, us Americans are like big babies, like there was people naked in the streets, peeing in the streets and singing and dancing. And I thought, God, we need serious perspective, right? So I think a lot of the things that it's like what Natalie talked about, our privilege, sometimes we lose perspective on really like how much is that really an issue? Like how much am I really suffering? Like this is painful, but maybe I need to get a little perspective on this. And then the last piece for me that's really important is I'm very careful about allowing myself to feel fully what I need to feel with no judgment of myself about it. So I spent many years shaming myself for being an empath and a highly sensitive person. And I really had to work, and I'm really at the place now. I'm like, I love that I feel so deeply. Like I love that something can cause me to just start weeping intensely, because to me that means my heart is open. And when I hear other people suffering and I cry, I'm not embarrassed. I feel like, yes, I have deep compassion, and I'm actually proud of that. Like I feel good about that. So I don't judge for the depths to which I feel. I just allow.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. So what's your favorite tip or tool that you'd like to share? Those who are watching right now.
Move your body. So for me, that's what I specialize in, is movement. But two things to look at when you move. Move can be an expression of how you're currently feeling. So if you're excited, right, jump up and down and put on some music and let it move through your body. But the clickety clack moments, you can use your body to change your state, right? So just even jumping up and down, just vertically jumping up and down, physiologically completely changes your whole state of being. So use your body in such a way that you either use it to express, like if you're feeling frustrated or whatever, let it move out of you and like punch some punching bags or something, or do something that feels crazy. Or you need to change your state, do some kind of movement that changes your state.
Awesome. I
There you
love
go.
it. I love it. I love it. And that's what I've been doing my best to do in between all the media and everything that I've been doing today. It's like I gotta get up, I gotta move, I gotta get up, I gotta move. So thank you
Exactly.
for being the thank you for being the gift of you and for being in this book with us. We really appreciate it.
Thank you,
Uh,
Chief.
yeah. So for those of you watching either on Facebook or you're still on this call with us, thank you so much for sticking around and watching these incredible speakers. I want to remind you that we're putting in the um, link to go ahead and purchase the book if you haven't yet. If you haven't yet, go get your Kindle copy or get your soft cover copy. And also right now we are going to give away another of my Bake Your Book home study writing course. If you go to bakeyourbooknow.com, bakeyourbooknow.com. Oh, I don't think that link works anymore. Anyways, I just remembered we changed it to another link. It's a full course that sells for $1,000, and so I wanted to have it so that some people on this call, maybe you haven't written a book yet, or you have, but you would like to get some tips on how to write the next one, that I would give away that course 4 times during this call to those of you who are here with us, registered, you showed up, you're still here with us. You have a chance of winning that right now. And so Kim is choosing the winner of the second Bake Your Book Home Study course. And who is the winner?
The second winner of the Bake Your Book Home Study course is randomly selected Lynn Van Gelder. Congratulations to Lynn.
Lynn.
So Lynn, go ahead and type your email down in the chat and we'll be sure to get that to Keith so he can get you access to it.
Oh my God, I love Lynn. She's a very dear friend of mine. That is awesome. Okay, and then also to get your free gift. So if you're watching on Facebook, go to the comments, and I'll put it again in just a moment as our next person is sharing. I'll pop over there really quick and put it, or I think Kim's putting it right now. Are you putting it on the Facebook comments as well? If you're watching.
Go ahead.
Well, I'll take care of that one. So if you're watching on Facebook, I'm going to go into the comments and put how to access your free gift for watching tonight, and it's already in the chat for those of you who are on this call to get your free gift. So what is that free gift? Somebody asked me. It is a copy of the second book that I did. It's called Who Do You Think You Are? Discover the Purpose of Your Life. Had a foreword from Jack Canfield. If you've seen the movie The Secret, I had 10 people from the movie The Secret were in that book. And matter of fact, just about everybody that's in that book is someone that you've heard of. And I interviewed all of them and picked their brain about how did they discover their life purpose and what series of events did they go through in order to discover it, and then what tips or tools would they share with you. So it's a way to learn from people who know their purpose in life, how to discover yours. So I wanted you to have that as a gift just for showing up tonight. So you click that link, it takes you to what's called my easy card. And right on the top, the first words that you see, it's like click here to get your gift, something about the call tonight. Get your gift there, you click it open, and you can either read it there or download the PDF and read it later. Also, the easy card has much more. There's like a video about writing books on there somewhere, and lots on that easy card, but you can get that gift there. All right, we handled that bit of business. Next, we are moving on to the next awesome author from the book, Navigating the Clickety Clack, How to Live a Peace-Filled Life in a Seemingly Toxic World. And I make the distinction, seemingly toxic world, because if I was to share I'm asking all the authors, but if it was for me to share, I would say that all the things that are going on in the world around me are just going on around me. And how I interpret the things that are going around me, when I interpret those to be negative, bad, call it or hit it a negative energy about it, then I'm the one that gets damaged. So it's kind of like the stuff's just happening, and it's what the story that I make up about it is what affects me. So I wanted to say seemingly toxic world, meaning sometimes we just make up that thing is toxic. And having these tips and these tools from the folks that you're going to get tonight will help bring that awareness up in many different ways. And then if I was going to share a tip or tool, I would say I thought was interesting when I interviewed Jack Canfield to be in the book, that he said the same three that I had already written in the introduction. And so I could tell, okay, it's obvious this guy's my mentor for so many years now, because we basically came up with the same things. And one of those things was the work of Byron Katie. It's a woman named Byron Katie, Byronkatie. And she has a process called the work. And it is basically a templated process. It's a worksheet. And you fill in the blanks of what's going on for you, and then you work through this process that she created. It's really, really simple once you grasp it. And when you go to thework.com, there are videos there. So I wanted to share that really quick because I get so focused on the schedule and making sure that we're on time and doing all that I may have forgot to share with you one of the tips and tools that I wanted to share with you. So next I would love to welcome Deborah Robbins. And
hi, Keith.
Hi. We had the pleasure this morning of doing some media together this morning. We were on a show, and Deborah got to share her beautiful energy and her beautiful spirit and her beautiful heart with a group of people this morning. And it just reminded me how grateful that I am that you get to do it tonight with this group. So thank you for being in the book. Congratulations. And will you please tell us how it is that you are able to stay peaceful in a clickety clack world?
Thank you, Keith. First, I'd like to honor everyone who's here tonight, and all of us in the book, as well as all of those who've joined us tonight. This is such a special and surreal moment, no doubt. I stay mentally and physically active by exercising my body, my faith, and my power of choice. I prefer to avoid negativity by mindfully focusing on positivity, to the point that my family has told me that I can be annoyingly positive. But I am in touch with my emotions, and I acknowledge things that are out of my control. And then I try to stay focused on things that are within my control. And I play with my 2 young granddaughters whenever I can. And they remind me to embrace life through the eyes of my inner child. So I remain curious and open-minded, which is easy for me because I love learning and I love aha moments. So I'm an avid researcher. I am passionate about gratitude, leadership, and mindfulness. And every day I listen, read, write, or practice teaching on those and other personal growth topics. And I surround myself, whether in person or online, with wise people who can assist me with up-leveling myself. I utilize doTERRA essential oils in supporting my physical, emotional, and spiritual well-being, and to keep my personal frequency higher. And I practice hot yoga and run half marathons to remain flexible in mind, body, and spirit.
Awesome. And what is like your favorite tool that you would like to share with those who are here with us?
Wow. I have several, and I'll touch on 2 or 3, but it goes back to breathing deeply and slowly, and really listening to your breath as it comes in and goes out. I believe that trusting in ourselves and knowing that we can be, do, or have anything, even if we don't know what that is yet or how to do it yet. One of my favorites is don't take things personally. Live in the present and look for good in every experience. Life is a journey with many destinations. Decide to enjoy every one of them. Be empathetic and able to see situations from another's point of view. Feel gratitude, and I mean really feel it, and then write about what you're grateful for. Writing is a game changer. I read something last week that said, what if tomorrow you only have what you've expressed gratitude for today? And if you've tried affirmations and they felt somewhat like mistruths, then try affirmations, which are simply stating your intentions in the form of a question, and then be willing to listen for those answers. Always be mindful about the power of your thoughts, your words, and your actions. Acknowledge the present and appreciate that everything is temporary. Be at peace with change, which truly is the only constant in the world. And understand that giving and receiving are the same energy. The more you give, the more you can receive. And the more you receive, the more you can give. And then practice asking, because when we ask, it is given. And allow yourself to receive.
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you so much. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
sharing that. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yes. All right. So, Jani Roberts. Come on down.
Hi, Keith. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Thank you so much for having me. Again, I just want to echo those thoughts in regard to just really celebrating everybody that's on tonight. And I really just am blown away with your timing of this book release. Talk about divine intervention, right? There's a powerful awakening happening now. And here you come, right? Here we all come collectively with such powerful intention with this book. So it's really exciting.
Yes, yes. Thank you. So, how is it that you are able to stay peaceful in a world that is constantly filled with clickety clack?
Well, I think one thing I just want to be really transparent about is that I don't always. And I don't think any of us do always, right? But there are some things that I've discovered that have made it extremely helpful so that I am mostly in alignment, most of the time. And so I just love to share first patterns of behavior. So I think it's really fun to explore this. And I think it's really important to just acknowledge that we all have very powerful desire and we've all come with very powerful intention. And we may not all feel as though we have purpose in this moment, but we wouldn't be on this call if we didn't. And of course, that includes everyone on the call. I just have, for example, I have to acknowledge Leslie Warren, who connected me with you, right? Perfection. And how I've been able to communicate with all of these authors and been inspired and been able to embrace that. So we have to own that we are worthy and that we come with powerful intention and we have purpose, and echo that even though we may not be clear about what that purpose is, we are on route to that purpose, and it's our life's work. And it doesn't have to be our job, right? It is our life's work. So this is just step one to me, acknowledging that within you, that you have powerful intention. You came here to do something extremely special. Each one of us, no matter what we've been through, where we come from, what our story is, we can rewrite that with intention at any time we desire. So I just want to acknowledge the contrast that's been acknowledged, that we have to know hot to know cold, and that's a good thing. And to just breathe and let go and allow and just be really easy about this, because life is supposed to be good for us, and it is.
Keith, you're muted right now.
Yeah, thank you. I was trying to get back to the mute button. So, oh, that's beautiful. So what is your your favorite tip or tool that you want to share?
So for tip, I would say lead with appreciation.
Mm.
It is a similar energy to love, right? It's right up there with love. So when you wake, find something. If it's just your breath, it's your breath. If it's the pillow under your head, it's the pillow under your head. If you don't have a pillow under your head right now, or your own bed, you still have your breath. So start with appreciation, because we have to ground ourselves in some feeling or emotion. So if we can find that first, then that tip will always lead us to a higher frequency or energy. And as far as practice goes, or tools, I love the idea of meditation combined with movement. And I developed with an amazing team a course that's a 365-day course where we embrace these moving meditations. So we provide ourselves and those who are attracted to this practice a daily practice, something, I'm with Karen. 15 minutes of meditation when focused is all you need, right? You can do this very powerfully, very quickly, and very effectively. And of course, you can expand that as you see led to do. But having this practice, having something to follow, something to guide you on a daily basis is so key. And acknowledging that meditation does not need to be done the same way by everybody, that we're all very unique, we're all very different. I love to use music and movement. Very simple movement, very empowering music, and set that to the emotion that I either want to jump to or move to, or celebrate the one I'm in. For example, if I'm experiencing something like I am right now, which is tremendous joy, then I'm going to do the moving meditation for joy, which will be happening following this, this call. So I want to sit in it, right? I want to bask in it. And so much time we give more of our attention to what is not working in our lives, and we don't take the time to really bask in what is working and celebrate that. And we can do that with others or alone, but it's so important to acknowledge, wow, go me, right? This is huge. So we want to enjoy that and just really sit in it and experience it and feel that appreciation for it, because then we can go to that all the time. And when we want to shift, let's say I'm in frustration, or today maybe slight anticipation, I could shift, I could use a moving meditation for frustration. Like, I'm going to shake this frustration off. It'll take me 2.5, 3 minutes max to do this moving meditation. And I've released that frustration. I've moved my body. I've got, that action of the oxygen moving and the love flowing, and just letting the stuff that doesn't serve me go, and shift out of that into a better feeling place. So just be easy about it. It's a fun ride.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for being here tonight. Thank you for bringing your beautiful energy and the work that you do to this powerful book. And from everybody that you're hearing tonight, there's more tips in the book than they're sharing with you right now. So know that there's even more there. I have checked, and the Kindle book right now is number two, and number 6. So we have gone up just while we've been on this call, and paperback is sitting at number 8 and number 9. So it's
fantastic. Well, thank you so much for this privilege and for all that you do. You're an amazing human.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you so much. All right, so we have got Venetta. Venetta is next. Venetta.
So I'm sitting thinking, going, everyone's a hard act to follow. What am I going to say now? Everybody's been so amazing. I just want to say, ditto, ditto, ditto.
Ditto, ditto, ditto.
Ditto, 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 yes. So for me, many, many years ago, I found a quote, and it said, it was from the father of pharmacology, who said, all things men need for healing can be found in nature. And that really triggered interest in me. Basically, I lived, is anybody here old enough to remember Fiddler on the Roof?
Ah, yes.
And on the other hand, that was my life because I was raised to do this and I wanted to do that. And they were always throwing out the line, reeling me back in because I was, get her back. Anyway, so that was how my life was spent. About 15 years ago, I said, damn the martinis. I'm tired of, to use your word, the clickety clack. I want peace in my life. I'm Greek, so that's never going to happen. It's always going to be the hands all over the place. But I love that passion. I love the different emotions. I never want to be completely peaceful. I just want to be, I'm not real sure of the word I want to use here. I want to enjoy life and be at a place where I know I'm fulfilling what I'm here to do. Or maybe, I think Neil Donald Walsh in The Secret said, there is no chalkboard in the air that says my purpose is. It's about what you want to do and what you want to be and when you want to be it and how you want to do it. So for me, that's kind of what I work toward. I love being passionate. I love being angry. I love when I get mad. I love when I love. I love every emotion I feel as long as they don't control me and I control them, if that makes any sense. So if you feel an emotion, it's good to feel that emotion. But if you start dwelling on it and it takes you down another or puts you on a roller coaster, then you want to come back off of it. You want to find a way to get off that roller coaster and calm. For me to do that, again, everything is connecting to what I call connecting to nature's soul. Nature's soul is Reiki. I'm a Reiki master. I love Reiki. I love crystals. I'm working on my crystal certification. I'm one essay away from it. I work with essential oils. And I think a couple other, Deborah and Angie have mentioned tonight, oils will change your mood and bring you back into an even keel more than anything on this planet. They're just amazing. I actually started using oils about 40 years ago. And I'm so excited that today more and more people are learning about them and using them because they're just magic. They're absolute magic. And God put all this on the earth for us. And we're going off the deep end, going totally somewhere else, when in fact, what he's put on this earth is what's here that can calm us and bring us back to an even keel. So.
Well, thank you. What's your favorite one tip or tool?
Okay, I have two that I like a lot. One, for me, the most comforting feeling in my life was when I was little and I was between my parents. That love was just so comforting. For me, there's a meditation I like where I bring the heavens down and the earth up. And so you have our Father in heaven, and you have Mother Earth. And for me, that's a comforting feeling because I feel like Father and Mother are from our childhood parents, and you feel the universe coming in on you and just that comforting feeling. And the other thing I really like, and I might have to read it because I never remember it. I may have to kind of like pretend I know it in my head. This came from Sonia Choquette. Does anybody know Sonia? Any of her work? Oh, you do? Yeah. So when I first came home from Greece, I was very angry. And I had a lot of really bad thoughts about the man I was married to. So a thing that helps me a lot when I really find anger or I really want to get rid of all the negative thoughts, there's a thing that Sonia said that I wrote down and I used more frequently back then. That goes, those are not my thoughts. I am a divine, immortal being, and only my loving spirit controls my thoughts and feelings. I am filled with light and bring more light into the world. And with that little paragraph, it kind of brings you back to, okay, and really makes those bad thoughts go away. Even now, sometimes you have to say it 2 or 3 times, but it's a great little way to take the negativity away and bring in the I am a divine immortal being and I'm filled with light. So if you don't remember the whole thing perfectly, you can just bring in the thought and it helps you take away the negative.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Well, congrats and thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being in the book. Congrats on being a best-selling author.
Thank you for
Woohoo!
inviting me. Yay.
You got it. You got it. Next is Trisha. Trisha Schmalhofer.
That's right. You said it correctly.
Yay, I did it. Hopefully I've got all of them correct tonight.
I think you did.
Yeah. Well, thank you for being here. Thank you for being in the book. I'm excited to have you share how it is that you're able to stay peaceful when you're in the clickety clack.
Yes. And I've been listening, of course. My list has been checked off, and Venetta just did my last one, nature. So I'm winging it now. And and I've been pondering, like, we can choose a clickety clack if we want to change something in our life. And if I want to do something different, I can make sure I'm navigating that clickety clack with all of my resources and self-care. But when one comes without me planning it is when I sometimes get really off balance, and it's hard for me to pick which resource or tool. And you can see behind me, I got books and candles and music and I can dance here. I have my cat, right? My cat stand. And so I think to navigate the clickety clack that's like ocean waves really drowning me, which is sometimes that's what happens. I have to find a quiet space and just ask myself, what is it, Trisha, you need right now? And I had to do this today because I just traveled to DC and back during an election, helped my sister with hers, and it was kind of emotional and out of my routine. And I had to have a good cry. And so releasing that emotion in a healthy way. And sometimes that's taking a bath and crying in there. Today I had to move. I found this kind of African dance video and I didn't even realize that's what I was going to do, but I just started moving and all of a sudden there it came, the cry. And then I could pick a resource. Then I could find the guidance outside of me once in here got moving. And so, yeah, so figure out if energy has to move, express it in whatever way your body needs to or your soul needs to, and then look for the solution or the guidance outside that kind of matches that direction.
Yes, yes. Well, know that even if when I ask you for a tip, even if you did share one that somebody had already shared, the way that you share it would be the way that someone else who's still on this call needed to hear it. So,
That's,
you know,
well, I think I'm very happy with what I shared. So
yeah. So what's your number one favorite kind of tip or tool that you want to share?
My number one fun one, because I love oracle cards. I like pretty pictures and nice messages, and I like reading them for myself and others. And the one I'm going to highlight, Keith, is yours.
Yay!
Walking with Your Angels, and beyondbeliefpublishing.com is where you can buy these. And he highlights the archangels with beautiful messages. And I do card readings a lot, sometimes on lives. I do one for people, and I really enjoy Keith. So find some oracle cards that you love. There's like billions of them now. And it's just, that's a nice, fun tool. And a lot of times I end up laughing because it's so synchronistic and it validates exactly what I need to know to do next.
Yeah, and we know that the perfect card is always pulled. So you want to go ahead and pull one?
You know, I pulled one ahead of time, but I
Uh-huh.
can pull one now. Do you want me to pull a new one?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought too.
So everyone who's still on this call right now with us, thank you for hanging around, and know that some more gifts are coming up in just a moment.
Yes,
But right now, you're going to get a gift of the archangel, one of the archangels.
Ooh, this is the one that wants
Yeah.
out. Archangel Michael.
Ah, yes.
Yes, Michael. Okay, so would you like me to read the message?
Yes, please.
I am Archangel Michael. I am available to protect you in any situation. Dear one, you need only to open your heart and ask to connect with me fully. Simply speak my name and I am with you in any situation. Simply say, Michael, surround me in your wings of protection. And it is done.
Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for being in the book, bringing your beautiful energy to the book, and all of the ways that you've made a difference in my life.
My pleasure.
Yeah. All right. So now's the time to give away another Bake Your Book home study course. Sells for $1,000 and will help you to not only write your book, but it teaches you the business of books while you're writing your book. So you're learning about how to market it, how to use it to get on stage, how to fill in the blank. You get all of that. So who is the winner of the Bake Your Book home study course? For those of you that have been sticking around, chances are getting even better as people go to sleep.
All right, Keith, we have our third random winner of the Bake Your Book Home study course. Randomly selected, it is Teresa Ramasco. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Congratulations to you, Teresa. Be sure to put your email address down in the chat and we'll make sure that Keith has that so he can send you your gift.
Looks like a few of our panelists know that person. They're like, yeah. All right, great. All right, so so the home study course will be coming to you. After this call, I will email the information. So also we're going to put a link to how to get the free gift for everybody who came to this call. And so if you came late, just so you know, you were right on time and you get a free gift just for showing up on this call. So we're going to put that link in the chat right now. And I will also at some point go over to Facebook and put it in the comments for those of you watching on the Facebook aspect of life. But meanwhile, we want to move on to our next incredible author from the book, Navigating the Clickety Clack, How to Live a Peace-Filled Life in a Seemingly Toxic World. And next up is Leah Williamson. Leah, how are you tonight? She's like, what? It's me already?
I didn't realize I was up. Did not realize I was up next. Yes.
Perfect.
So yes, now I'm in the clickety clack. I wasn't
perfect.
Expecting it.
We get to see in real time how you
Snuck up on me, Keith.
Yeah. So Leah, when we're walking around in this world and clickety clack is coming at you, how is it that you're able to stay peaceful and calm in that?
Well, like a lot of the other authors have expressed, I can't always stay peaceful in that moment. But typically I can go, oh, wait, I'm starting to lose it. Things are not going right. So I have found that one of the best tools for me is this right here. First, shut my mouth. Don't say anything reactionary. Just shut my mouth and breathe with this part of it. Breathe in and out of the nose. A lot of people have expressed using breath work as a tool. And that is, of course, one of the tools that I use being a Qigong and Tai Chi instructor. It's a huge part of my life to do different kinds of breath work. So when I notice that things are a little off kilter, first, just shut it down so I don't say anything that's offensive and maybe I will regret later. Notice that I'm breathing, and that is breath work. To just notice that you're breathing helps to bring everything down a notch, to calm it down. And then I can go, okay, right now, in this moment, I am not dying. I have all of my limbs. I have a roof over my head. I have good transportation. Right now, in this moment, I have everything I need for physical survival. So there were some times in my life that was not always the case. I didn't always have the tools I needed for physical survival. So just recognizing that I have everything to survive is huge for me right in this moment, because I can't control a lot of the stuff that's going on out here. So just knowing that I'm safe in the moment is huge in just being able to stay peaceful once I'm recognizing I'm out of it. The breath is the biggest tool that I use to help bring me back into that peaceful moment. Many people have expressed to meditation. I was never so good with the meditation, which is why I learned how to move and meditate. That's why I started learning Tai Chi, which is moving meditation. Now, thankfully, with a little bit of practice, I can actually stand still and not move and meditate the way it's traditionally done or seated. But in the beginning, it took adding some movement in there. So the tools I use are breath, movement, and awareness of self and what's going on. And the biggest tip I have to say is that even if none of those tools work for you, recognize what tools do work for you and don't neglect them. Do them every single day. For me, it's been having a consistent daily practice of the things that keep me in alignment, which is the word a lot of people have used to express that state, that consistent daily practice. It kind of adds up and builds to this even ground, this even level throughout the day. So when it's not very often that I get thrown off by the clickety clack that comes my way, but when I do, I go back to those tools that come really naturally. I don't have to learn something new because it's the same thing I've been doing every day for years. So if your tool is dancing, for goodness sake, dance every day. If your tool is reading cards, if that's what gives you peace and joy and alignment, for goodness sake, don't neglect that. Because if you neglect it and it kind of falls by the wayside, by the time the clickety clack comes, and it will, change is inevitable, then maybe you've lost a little touch with your tool and it doesn't serve you the way it used to. So I think the biggest tip I would say is do what you love that keeps you in alignment and do it every single day. Even if it's just 5 minutes, even if all you have is 5 minutes to do your African dance around the living room or whatever it is that gives you joy, make sure that you do it because you're the most important thing in your life. And if you don't take that 5 minutes for yourself, you're neglecting the most important thing in your life, which is your own health and well-being. And that's how I manage every day. That consistent tool, keeping me in balance. And thanks for having me on. It's been fun.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you. And thank you for bringing your beautiful spirit and your incredible energy to the book and to this event. I felt you being right there with each speaker tonight, with each author, just holding them. I just felt you holding them and being there for them. So that energy work that you do, right, is palatable. It is, I feel it. And so thank you so much and congratulations. You're our best-selling author. Yay! International. We in many countries we hit that status. So thank you so much. All right, so we've got one more author, and I think Kim, let's just go ahead and give away another home study course really quick.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do that.
That
So
sounds.
this is, why not? Because there's folks that are sticking around with us until the end, and we're getting to the last speaker, and so I want to make sure that I'm going to give away 5 instead of 4 home study courses. I'd love to reward people that stick around.
Awesome. Well, our 4th winner is Tanya R. So congratulations to Tanya R. Let us know your email address down in the chat, and we'll be sure that we get that to you.
Yay, congratulations. All right, so next up is Ariel Yarger, and I'm pretty sure I got that one right too. Yay.
Thank you.
Hi.
I'm often Jaeger, so when you get Yarger, that's great.
How has your day been?
It's been fine. I have been really excited all day, which surprised me because I wasn't sure what it would be like. So it's been kind of fun. I just like to say it has been an honor to be here with all of you other people. You have had such good ideas and such good things to do. I'm still learning a lot about this to a certain extent. And so this has just been amazing for me. I've just been sitting here learning. So thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate all of you. So here we are.
Yeah. All right. Well, so share with us, how are you able to stay peaceful and calm in the clickety clack when things are going just crazy?
I think I've been trained by life and experiences all along, just little ones. I've had a good life, and I've been just a normal life. I've just had a normal life. I'm a child of the 50s. What can I say? And I raised a large family. So a lot of my clickety clacks were kind of littler and had to do with kids, and they were all involved. And so I had to, the last Lee was saying that you are the most important person. And for many, many, many years, everybody else was the most important person. So this has been real interesting to me, this whole part of the journey. The first thing is, I know I'm not alone. I've always known that there was, God was always there. And as I've done this work, I found out that I know he's there because he breathes me. He beats my heart. He leads my steps. Things happen I had no idea would happen. They have to be designed. They couldn't have just popped in space. They just had to have been designed for that moment and for me. So the first thing was, I know God's there. The second thing was, I turned off the news 3 or 4 years ago. And on TV, I don't watch hardly anything anymore, but old movies, happy movies. I have always loved musicals. Fiddler on the Roof, I just can't always watch because I know what's coming. And I know what that story is, and I like it to have a happy ending. So I just kind of keep things in that realm, low-keyed. I'm tuning into the election. Who do they say is won now? Who do they say is won now? And then I leave, and I'll wait until it's all settled. So, and the other part was learning that there are places in my body where faith comes in and what's the word I want? Moves around and stews and prepares and revitalizes and that kind of stuff. So that was important. And then the last thing is, I know it's going to change. I don't like it when it changes. I like my plans. I like what I've set up, but I know it's going to change. And when you have 11 children, it doesn't matter what you plan for that day. It doesn't happen. You always have to go to a plan B or a plan C or a plan S. But it was important to me that I do it calmly and peacefully so that they weren't alarmed. I lost my temper. I did do that, but I loved them to death, and I was doing what I wanted to do, and that was just part of life. And so now when life changes, I go, okay, here we go again. And like everybody else says, you take a deep breath. So there you are.
Great. So what's your favorite kind of one tip or tool that you just like to leave everybody with tonight?
My tips, I have two statements that I always go to, especially when I'll take a deep breath in and then my breath out is all is well. This is going to be okay. All is well. It's been planned. There are reasons. There are solutions. I have them in me. All is well. And the second one is, this too shall pass. And nothing has happened in my life that didn't pass. Even the normal stuff passes. And I've been learning about some energy stuff, and even a really, really heightened emotion will pass within 90 seconds if I give it a chance. So those two statements are key. And then the other two things are, I do, as I grow older and as I work with people, want to work with grace and compassion. And hope is a key thing for me. If I can find the hope, and so far I have, if I can find the hope and I just kind of hold it in my hand and know it's there, I can work toward it. And I look for ways for the hope. Gratitude, as people have mentioned, it plays a big part in the hope. Because I know and I remember what has happened and been done for me and with me and through me, I know there's hope for whatever this situation is. And I know that I can find it. And it will always be in me and with me. And that's just very confirming and very, what's the word I want? Settling is the word I'll use. So
yes.
That's pretty much what I do the most. And I breathe.
Yeah, and speaking of breathing, let's all just take a nice breath together. And let's let everything, all this wisdom that you've heard, and for those of you who have been here from the beginning, hasn't it been rich? Haven't you received so much tonight? And there's all that and more in the beautiful book that you've purchased tonight. And so we thank you for being here with us. We thank you for your time. And one of the tools that I shared in my last book was called Walking with My Angels, and that's the book that brought forth the cards and many ways of providing support for people during the Clickety Clack. And one thing that I taught, which is another tip that I'd like to share, when I was out on the tour and people that were at my angel event, was sit, ask, and listen. And so a lot of people are sitting, and people talked about, a lot of the authors talked about meditation, so there's a lot of people sitting, meditating, praying, a lot of people asking questions, but when do we really sit in that silence, in that place long enough to receive the answer to the one question that we asked? If you're like me, it's easy to get pulled away and forget that I even asked that question, and then I wonder why I never received the answer. What I've learned as a discipline and as a practice is that when I ask a question, I stay in that question until I receive the answer. And if I have to get up and go out into the world, I'm not able to just sit there for hours like I do sometimes waiting for that one answer. And one time I waited 2 weeks for one answer, but I stayed in that one question until I got the answer. If I have to go out into the world, then I spin the question in my head as a mantra everywhere I go throughout the day. I just continue asking the question. And what I found is that the universe will respond with the answer for me, either through the words of a friend, through the words of a stranger. I may ask a question, I go out to the car, I turn on the radio, and the very first song that plays on the radio is the answer to that question. So the answers are there for us, especially when in the clickety clack. There's all this noise and frustration or whatever it is, and that's the clickety clack. I don't know what to do next. I don't know how I'm feeling. I don't know what to feel. You got all that stuff stirring up, right? So you may say, one question is, how do I get out of this? What do I need to do to get out of this clickety clack? And just continue to ask that question. What do I need to do? And then inevitably something will drop in and you'll go, oh, okay. So whether that's your inner guidance, your inner knowing, God, spirit, universe, whatever you like to call it, says, watch a movie that makes you laugh. You know, it's okay to pull yourself out of it for a minute. Go watch something that amuses you, have a good time, and then come back to it later, right? If it's something that you want to work with, you want to process. There's so many ways to pull us out. So sit, ask, and more importantly, listen is a tool that I wanted to share with you before we go tonight. I have to tell you with all my heart that I could not be more proud of this book. A dear friend of mine, which you'll read, his name was Fletch Rainey, and he was one of our spiritual mentors, my wife and I, when we started our business. And he's the one that coined the phrase, the clickety clack. And we would call him freaking out about stuff, and he would say, relax, you're in the clickety clack. And then he shared with us what that was. And that's that space in between, you know? And so I get to share with you his work through these beautiful spirits, through these incredible masters who have joined me in this book project to share their heart, their message, their power, their infinite wisdom with you, and joined me on this. Now we get to continue my dear friend Fletch's work on this planet through this project. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you for purchasing your copy, helping us become a bestseller. Thank you for sharing. Once you've read the book and you love it, for sharing that gift with others. Hey, you really should get this book. That's how it really happens. My dear friend Jack Canfield, who does Chicken Soup for the Soul series. I mean, everyone knows that series of books, right? That's how that started, was that an initial group of people read it, loved it, and then they just told everybody they knew, hey, you've got to read this book. So we can really, really make a difference on the planet, and you can be part of that. So tonight you made a difference in helping us go up and on the list and become even better, greater, higher up on the list bestsellers. You did that. Thank you so much. And I'll be checking in to see just how high we went from this call. But know that you make a difference on this planet, each and every one of you, whether you're watching this later, you're on the call now, you stuck around all this time, know that you make a difference on this planet. This world would not be the same without you. People forget to tell us that we're making a difference in their lives. They think that we know. And so they forget to tell us. So for every person that's forgot to tell you over the years that you make a difference in their life, I'm going to tell you for them. You do. This world truly would not be the same without you. Thank you for being here. Kim, let's give away one more home study course before we go for those who are sticking around till the very end of this call.
Ooh, exciting stuff. Okay, so our fifth random winner, let's see, is, can't see the name, Rhonda Eshelman. Congratulations,
Awesome.
Rhonda. Go ahead and put your email down in the chat so we can be sure to get your gift over to you.
Yes. Put it there. And so I wrapped up. Kim, what would you like to leave everyone with as my incredible co-host? Thank you so much for being with me tonight and helping me to do this.
Keith, I'm glad I'm grateful to be a part of it. And I love seeing all the comments in the chat. Thank you to everyone who's been here tonight with us. All your love, all your feedback. I mean, I don't know if all the other authors have been watching, but everything everyone has shared has helped somebody. That's what I've noticed. And it all works. That's why it's being shared. So I would just say, so much love and peace to everybody. And if you enjoy the book, share it out with your friends and family as well. That would be awesome. Thank you, Keith.
You got it. And Rhonda, I'm just waiting for you. I don't want to log off before we get your email address down in the chat. So so how about all authors unmute your audio, everyone, and let's just all say goodnight. All say thank you.
Thank y'all. Thank you so much for everything.
Thank you to everybody.
Thank you.
This was awesome.
Thank you.
Keith,
So
thank
good.
you for all you did for us.
Yeah, really.
Such a special opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you.
You've got it. You got it. Are we still waiting for Rhonda's email?
I'll send it to you.
Okay. Oh, perfect. All right. All right.
Great job, Keith.
She
Good
sent me a
night.
text
Thank
and said I
you.
had to go, and I said, okay.
Okay.
Many blessings to everybody.
Perfect. Take care, everyone. Thank you. Thank you.
you.
Bye, everybody.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Great job.
Good
Take care.
night.
Woo! We did
Yes.
it.
Yes.
Take care. Bye, everyone.
Woo.